Welcome back here, race number 5 at the KBRC, second leg of the quaddie. We're going to have a little bit of interference there from the left-hand side, protest pending. We'll have a look at the outcome quite shortly here, Chris Shane, but it's No Whispering, the first horse we'll look at here. These horses have left the yard, they're doing their prelims, and this is our favourite No Whispering now for Peter Fernie. Obviously had a very long preparation with Peter Fernie. One start with Lucy Fiore, now back with Peter Fernie.
Yeah, unbelievable. Right into favouritism now, as you touched upon, Scott. Number 1, No Whispering. And it was only fair first up at Northam, I thought, 3.5 weeks ago. Started his career last year here and won his maiden leading. Look, they've made a few gear alterations and would have to be right up on the speed with that big weight of 60.5 kilos to play a role for mine.
Number 2, One More for Leo, dropped from a mile back to 1200 last start. Was a really good effort to win at 20-1. Can he reproduce? Cassie Martin looking for a race-to-race double. So is Brett Drury.
Yeah, agree with that. Good win and good training performance as well. As you said, 6 weeks break between runs. He stays at 1200. He's drawn a bit sticky, but well placed with the claim and right run can win again. Number 2, he looked good.
Number 3, Minor Detail, was very, very fresh in his prelim. Tried to buck on a couple of occasions. He's a 3-year-old by Free Eagle. He's ridden by Jared Noski, which I'm sure is a bit of a blessing.
Yeah, lightly raced 3-year-old. He's by that Irish stallion Free Eagle, and as you said, first up, he is a bit fresh, probably too fresh. Finished off his last prep with a win and 2 seconds, so he definitely has ability. It's there and should be better suited over further ground. He has claims.
Number 4, Mignora, is a 4-year-old mare by Akeed Mafid, having her first start in WA. Now trained by Peter Fernie, owned by Andrew Ingalls and Chris Wells. Braden Garth to ride.
Yeah, interesting runner, Scott. That former Victorian galloper, Lindsay Smith, trained for Chris Wells, who actually retains part ownership. So, look, the mare resumes. First up last campaign, they went straight to the mile, indicating that she'll get over more ground. But look, today, first up and starts over 1200 gate 1. But to my mind, you would think that this would be too short, but they have backed her. Mingora.
Number 5, Captain Rogers, blinkers off, visors on, Ash Grace, Geordie Turner.
Yeah, racing really well, deserves a win. More than likely goes back from the wide gate and finds something to truck into the race. Look, genuine enough, flying Artie 3-year-old and should win one. Number 5, Captain Rogers.
Now, since we've been talking, the new favourite is now number 6, Made My Way, a Zebdee filly by... trained by Ricky Brown. Austin Gallardi takes off 2.
She's been in sensational form this season, very consistent filly, so you know what you're going to get with her. And she was held up at a critical stage last start. She only carries 56 with the claim and should push forward from the wide gate to be handy. She looked quite well, relaxed with those red earmuffs on. She's one of the main chances.
Number 7, Fiendish, also has gear changes here. Blinkers off, winkers on, Nev Newton and Lacta Rumley.
Yeah, luckless last start. Couldn't get a run up the straight until the 100-metre mark. The winkers on, blinkers off, as you said, and get back, run on type, and they always need luck.
The next horse here is number 8, She's Artie, Ash Maley, Jason Whiting.
Yeah, second up today, didn't show much at Belmont on resumption. She can show gate speed, She's Artie, so expect her to scoot over early. She's at big odds. Should be fitter, but unlikely.
Number 9, Hotorio, late scratching. Number 10, Rockport, missed the final runner here at 40-1.
Yeah, not going good enough up here. Has speed out of the machine, but would be looking elsewhere.
We're still 5 minutes away from the Regal Engineering Handicap. Class 2, 1200 metres. We have scratchings here of 9, Hotorio, 11, Saturnina, and 12, Huxton Creeper, which leaves us with a field of 9 to face the judge here. Crishane, you've got plenty of time to talk us into your top 4.
Yeah, 6, 1, 2 and 5, Scott, ahead of race number 5, the Regal Engineering Handicap. A shout out to Lumpy Royal, a big sponsor of the KBRC. 6, 1, 2 and 5, Made My Way, No Whispering, One More for Leo and Captain Rogers. Look, there's a bit of speed, Scott, No Whispering, the top weight. We've also got Minor Detail, also Made My Way, She's Artie, should fly the gate from an outside gate, and also Rockport Miss as well. So they should be able to click up early, and I just thought Made My Way. I know it's drawn wide, but she's just racing so consistently, this filly, and if Austin Gallardi, who's riding in tremendous form, if he can sort of lob 1-1 or get in from an outside gate, I think she's going to be awfully hard to beat. She's just so consistent. Number 6, Made My Way. No Whispering, number 1. There's been a ton of support for this galloper. And second up in the preparation, and up here now with the astute Kambana Lodge Peter Fernie team. He'll get the best out of this one. He did last year, and you expect it to be up on the speed. It has to be with that 60.5 kilos. 1 more for Leo, for Brett Jury. Really looked a piece and a picture of health in the yard. And it was a good win last start, good training performance, and again, another one from a tricky gate. Just needs to lob in for a spot sort of midfield to be able to reproduce that win from last start. And 5, Captain Rogers, look, drawn the outside gate, but another one that's racing really well and does deserve a win. So we've gone the way 6, 1, 2 and 5. Made my way from No Whispering, 1 more for Leo and Captain Rogers.
6, 1, 2 and 5 for Crishane in race number 5. 2.5 minutes away from the second leg of the quaddie. First leg was taken out by Jake Starr, number 8, paid $12.50 and $2.80 on the tote. So to be alive, you need number 8 in the first leg. 2 minutes away. Number 1, No Whispering, $3.80, hit $4.80, now back into $4.20. Number 2, 1 more for Leo, a bit of a surprise last start winner, dropping back from a mile to 1,200 at 20 to 1. He holds up at $6.50. Not a lot of love. First up, No Trial for Minor Detail, $6.50 out to $10 now. Also no love for the first starter, the Akid Mafeed mare in WA, Mignora. She's $3.90 out to $7.50, so a very big drift there. First start for Kambana Lodge. Number 5, Captain Rogers, $8 into $6.50. The really good money here is with Made My Way. Opened up $6.50 during the week, now into $3.60 and holds outright favouritism, 56 kilos after the claim of Austin Galati. Fiendish for Nev Newton and Lacta Rumley has met with some supported odds, got out as much as $18 in betting, now into 11. 16 to 34 for She's Arty, scratch 9 Hattorio, and 40 to 1's been the call the whole way through for Rockport Miss. 90 seconds away from race number 5. Crishane, I'll get you to recap that top 4 here.
Top 4, Scott, heading into race number 5 out of Kalgoorlie on a glorious sunny winter's day. 6, 1, 2 and 5. 6 Made My Way on top from 1, No Whispering, 2, 1 more for Leo, and 5, Captain Rogers.
Where does Austin Galati get? I know that after the scratchings he comes in a couple of gates, but he's still drawn pretty awkwardly on this filly. She does look, however, to have a bit of versatility. Yes,
and correct, and also tactical speed as well, which makes her, as you said, versatile. So I thought with the speed map she'd have to go forward and try and lob a spot. I don't think she'd be any good at the back in terms of the context of this race and how it may unfold. So I thought the speed maps, even she could come across with She's Arty drawn on the outside of her, and just needs a little bit of good Austin Galati riding to get a box seat run or just in the running line to make a presence felt here.
We are 30 seconds away from race number 5. They're hitting the home straight in race number 8 at Singapore on Sky 1. So you'd imagine that very shortly we'll flick across to Kalgoorlie for the second leg of the quaddie. But for our local listeners and our Sky Thoroughbred Central audience, we'll send you the way of Royce Newton for the call of the Regal Engineering Handicap.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Crishane. Yes, No Whispering goes forward. So we're just waiting for 2 more to come along as Singapore concludes their event. So 1 more for Leo to come forward and complete the line. Last start winner. 1 more for Leo comes along. Red lights on, stand by, they're set. Over at the 1200, the Regal Engineering. Made My Way, your favourite gates, fly back, they're off, racing, No Whispering, got out of line, Best goes straight to the lead, pushing forward Minor Detail with Made My Way in a congested front half of the field, up there as well, working forward. It is around the outside as they settled into stride. Rockport Miss, they were followed next of all by She's Arty, rather third. So She's Arty from 1 more for Leo, Minor Detail is running 5th offence. Then came Captain Rogers, a further 2 to Rockport Miss on the outside of Mingora, and Fiendish settles down at the tail. So with 600 metres to run, it's No Whispering who's second up today, shows away by 3/4 of a length. Made My Way the favourite. She's Arty's working overtime. Then we had Minor Detail getting a nice run, 4th offence. They were followed next of all to the outside by 1 more for Leo. Then came Captain Rogers, midfield Mingora asked to quicken, followed by Rockport Miss and Fiendish at the tail. They straighten up for the run home. It's No Whispering out in front for CJP. Made My Way the outside starts to extend. Minor Detail coming through on the fence, and here's one more for Leo as well. No Whispering in front, the top weight. One more for Leo, the outside, but No Whispering's going to go on and win. A clear win too. No Whispering defeats. One more for Leo. Photo third, Minor Detail, or on the outside, Made My Way. They were followed in by Mingora. Then came Captain Rogers, Rockport Miss, Fiendish. Second last and last of all was She's Artie after sitting wide throughout. Number one, No Whispering. Second run back today, finished midfield at Northam when resuming. Back with Peter Fernie on the Goldfields, and brings up win number 2 at start 9, No Whispering. This was a tough win because the run started to commence as they straightened up, and Made My Way looked to pounce. Likewise with Minor Detail, who was flattening out nice over on the fence, but No Whispering, albeit just drifting out to the centre of the track, has gone on for a strong win over a length. Numbers here, 1 defeats the 2, one more for Leo. 6 gets third, Made My Way, just ahead of the 3, Minor Detail, and 4 gets fifth. But numbers 1, 2, 6 and 3, 1.5 by a half a length, and 1:11.64 the winning gallop for race number 5 from Kalgoorlie. Okay, we'll take this opportunity to cross down into the yard after the win of No Whispering. Back with Kambana Lodge after having a reasonable preparation here at the KBRC last year. Sent to Kalgoorlie for its second run this year, and the 3-year-old goes on and wins. Down to Scott and Chrishane.
Thank you, Royce. Yes, we do have Peter Fernie after the victory here of No Whispering. Pete, it's only been 24 days between runs, but Lucy's clearly sent this galloper to you with full fitness.
I don't know about fitness. I think Lucy and Carol done a great job with it, with its mental status, putting it over doing a lot of show work with it. It's a lot more tractable now than it ever used to be. They've done a really good job with it.
Of course, you've had this horse previously, so what's the difference?
Oh, it's a lot more tractable. She's done a really good job sorting its manners out, and didn't have many before. Now it's done a really good job.
What did you make at the stablemate's first run in WA, Minora?
Yeah, I thought it was good. It missed the kick. I thought she'd go a lot better. She works really good, but she missed the start and you had to use her up a bit early. I think it's going to be a nice horse.
Are you learning a bit about her from week to week?
Yeah, it's a bit hard when they work really good. You don't know. So it's always in your back of the mind when you get them and start them from over east, how good they're going to be when you put them in a race.
What's the best for the rest of Mr. Peter Fernie's yard?
Hopefully kick a goal, son. I think he's going really well.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
There's Peter Fernie, had a couple of horses in this race, Chrishane, but too strong here, No Whispering. Clint Johnston Porter, 60.5 kilos, straight to the top and way too classy for them in the end. He was able to carry the weight, absorb the pressure from the favourite on the outside too. Made My Way was able to get her way to the breeze, and she had a 4.5 kilo weight pull on him, but in the end, at the top of the home straight, he shook her off pretty easily.
Yeah, and as we alluded to pre-race there, Scott, 60.5 kilos, you have to be up on the speed, especially on a track like this today. And we'll get a word with the Clint Johnston Porter. Just having a discussion there with trainer Peter Fernie, but we'll have a quick word before he scales in. Congratulations there, CJP, and a tough win, able to lead and just found plenty over the concluding stages.
Yeah, it was wanting to get on one rein a little bit and made sure no one was outside of me. I just let it run out and I actually found well when I did that. So Lucy's done well to get it here today, and she probably deserves all the credit.
Well, had that grounding foundation there down on the heavy sand, and obviously coming up here on top of the ground, second up, really did set it up for today and going forward.
Yeah, it suited it well, and also I didn't have anything really take me on. I was allowed to just do whatever I want, and I think that's the way the horse liked it.
Congratulations, and still 2 more races to come. But Clint Johnston Porter, folks, the winner aboard number 1, No Whispering.
1, 2, 6 and 3, those numbers. 1, No Whispering. Win number 2 at start number 9. A 3-year-old Snippet Son gelding out of Cardera. Peter Fernie, Clint Johnston Porter, 2 strong in race number 5. 1, 2, 3 and 6 with 2 more to come at the KBRC.